I am so fucking hangry, you guys. I can't even. I feel like I'm gonna eat pasta at like 11 a.m. because that's what I'm craving.
I must say that on the day of the flush and the day after, I felt like an entire new person. I don't know how else to explain it. I was so giggly. I was so happy. Like, I'm naturally like a high energy person, but I was just a lot more present as well. I was noticing, like, I was so much in the now moment. And also physically, I felt, and I don't weigh a lot, guys, but I felt like 20 pounds lighter. I felt so good. And also so much, like, I had so much inspiration for work, so much mental clarity. Even though I hadn't eaten, I felt so good. But here comes the thing. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell down below, so you get notified whenever I post a new video. Also, don't forget to like this video. It helps me a lot, and it also helps to push this video out to more people. So today I want to talk about your liver. Yes, your liver. So I recently did a liver and gallbladder flush. So it's based on a book by Andreas Moritz. It's called The Amazing Gallbladder and Liver Flush. And throughout that book, I just found out so much about the liver and how basically, essentially, if your liver isn't doing its job correctly, then your body is at a much higher risk for illnesses such as cancer, autoimmune diseases. Obviously, I do not want to scare you, but your body can only be in optimal health and only function as well as your liver functions. And personally, I did have some issues with my liver. I have the MTHFR gene mutation, which basically it means it's like 30% of people have this gene mutation, which means that your body is not detoxifying in the way that it should. So, you know, you can look that up. You can get blood tests done. If you have this, it's important that you detox your liver for optimal health. And also just my journey with trying to like heal my autoimmune disease, I thought it would be just an amazing opportunity to test this. I have the book on my phone. I wanted to get it, I really wanted to get it fast, so that's why I got it on the phone. You can basically download it immediately. So this is the book. This is what it looks like. The book is so detailed, and you have the exact protocol inside of the book. Do not do this unless you have read the book and unless you really feel ready to do it, because let me tell you one thing, it is not for the faint of heart, okay? It is kind of intense because what you're basically doing with this gallbladder and liver flush, there's like random, there are like liver detoxes, like juicing and like teas and herbs, but this takes it so much further. This is literally ridding your body of thousands of stones, of gallbladder stones and liver stones. One thing with the flush is you don't just do it once, you have to do it once a month, like every 3 to 4 weeks, because you're basically flushing hundreds and thousands of stones out of your body, like calcified stones that have been there for years and years and years. And you're basically doing small surgery on your body. That takes time, you know. The stones won't come, the stones don't all come out like in one flush. So it's definitely like a health commitment. It's not for the faint of heart. You have to be committed to it. So I'm gonna take you guys through the flush and share with you my experience. Basically what you do is you have to have 6 days of preparation where you drink apple juice, 1 liter of apple juice a day.
So I am on day 4 of my preparation. I have 3 more of these to go before I can do the flush. And yeah, it's been really easy so far.
And the malic acid in the apple juice is going to soften the stones. Personally, for me, on like the 2 days before the flush, I started feeling the effects of it. At one evening, I was just so like angry. I had so much anger come up. And I'm not an angry person, you know, but I had anger come up because your liver is actually the organ that stores anger and frustration. Your kidneys store like fear, and your liver basically stores anger. So it would be normal that if you're doing a detox, that would come up. I also started having like my dreams were very trippy. And then on the last day of preparation, you basically have to fast like half of the day. You can't eat anything anymore after 1:30 p.m. And in the morning you start with fruit, like plain oatmeal, and then for lunch you just have like steamed vegetables with some rice.
So I am on my last day of preparation, and this morning I am just allowed to have some oatmeal and some fruits. That's what we're having right now, and after 1 p.m. we're not allowed to eat anything anymore.
And in the evening is when you start your Epsom salts. Basically you have to drink 4 glasses of Epsom salts, 2 in the evening, 2 the next morning. And then also around 10 p.m. is where you get to drink the grapefruit mixed with the olive oil. So honestly, I was dreading the olive oil grapefruit mixture the most, but that ended up being like the least hardest to get down, because I was just so hungry. I was so hungry, guys. I had never really fasted that long. I was just so happy that I even had the possibility at that point. Like, I was so hungry at 10 p.m. It kind of tasted like a salad dressing. It didn't taste that bad, but you literally gulping down 1,000 calories of olive oil. And then as soon as you drink that mixture at 10 p.m., you have to lay down immediately. So you want to make sure that, you know, everything in your kitchen is clean. You've cleaned everything, and you drink the concoction next to your bed. Then you lay down, and you're not allowed to move for 20 minutes. And during that time, you're just supposed to like relax, send love to your liver, and that's when things can kind of get moving. And then usually in the morning you wake up, you have at 6 a.m. you have your 3rd Epsom salt glass, and then at 8 p.m. your 4th Epsom salt glass. And which those are really hard for me to get down, because you're already like so hungry, you're already like starving.
So it is 6 p.m. and I'm about to drink my first Epsom salt mixture. So cheers to that. You have to add about 4 tablespoons. I'm doing 3 just because I'm such a small human being. I feel like 4 would be too much for me. So it does say in the book that, you know, for children between 10 and 16, you can cut the dosage in half. So I feel like 3 out of 4 is perfect for me. So here we go. I am so fucking hangry, you guys. I can't even. I don't know if these are supposed to be like big tablespoons or small tablespoons.
I just always pinch my nose when I drink it, and I try to just drink it really, really fast. But it is kind of hard to get down. And you know, in the morning you should usually have some stones come out of your body. So I was expecting that I would like release like hundreds if not thousands of stones like most people, but actually I only released like 10 tiny stones, which means that my liver was probably so congested and so clogged up that there's some people where in the first flush they don't have any stones or just very few come out because it's just so clogged up, things need to get going. And then in the second flush is when things really start to move. So that's just like a side note that I wanted to add.
So So I just finished making some juice. This is celery, grapefruit, apples, and some ginger. I just threw some stuff together that I still had in my fridge. I am starving. I still have like 1 hour to wait until I can drink something, and then an hour after that I can finally eat something, and I feel like I'm gonna eat pasta at like 11 a.m. because that's what I'm craving.
I must say that on the day of the flush and the day after, I felt like an entire new person. I don't know how else to explain it. I was so giggly. I was so happy. Like, I'm naturally like a high energy person, but I was just a lot more present as well. I was noticing, like, I was so much in the now moment. And also physically, I felt, and I don't weigh a lot, guys, but I felt like 20 pounds lighter. I felt so good. And also so much, like, I had so much inspiration for work, so much mental clarity. Even though I hadn't eaten, I felt so good. But here comes the thing. On the third and fourth day, I started to feel terrible. Like, I would wake up with a headache, joint pain, and just feeling hungover. Basically, the feeling that I have is when you have a hangover, that's how I would feel in the morning. And Andreas warns about this in the book. He does say that you might be disappointed after your first flush because the positive effects are so short-lived, but that's completely normal, because what it does is, that's why once you start this cycle, you have to keep going. Basically, what you're doing is you have to look at it kind of as stones being like waiting in line. So you start feeling so much better, but after a while those older stones, they move forward, right? And I did feel a lot of like movement in my liver area after my first, like a few days after my first flush, as if things like older stone were moved forward. So you're basically done with flushing when you've had two consecutive flushes that didn't bring any stones. That's when you're done. Some people, it's after like 6 flushes, some after 8, some after 10, some after 12. It really depends on how clogged up your liver is and how many stones you have and how much your body is willing to release per flush as well. This is definitely not for the faint of heart. It is a journey. I woke up between 2 and 4, and I really had like, it wasn't that bad, but I was a little bit nauseous. It was okay though. It was like bearable. And one thing I want to add is you do have to get colonics or enemas. If you can't get a colonic, you want everything down there to be completely like empty. Otherwise, like if you don't follow these guidelines, stones may get stuck and it can cause toxicity. So you have to do an enema on the day of, like the day before the flush and like 2 days after the flush. So, or colonic ideally. So I have my enema ready here. I set up a candle and I made it really cozy. So, you know, it's a special time. All right, so it took me about 10 minutes to do the whole thing, and one thing I want to mention that I noticed right away is that before doing the enema I had a headache, and my headache's gone. Like, so those are basically the instructions, but I highly recommend that you read the book. I've learned so much about health in this book, and I feel like it's the type of book that I could read like 10 times over and over, and I would still learn about like how the body works and how health works. And if you look at his YouTube channel, he does have a YouTube channel. Sadly, he's passed away now, but he does have a YouTube channel, and he just looks like the epitome of health. He was an almost 60-year-old man looking like a 30-year-old. His skin was glowing, his eyes were glowing, and he also says that, you know, a sign that your liver is congested is if the white of your eyes is kind of like yellow and not very white, which in my case, like the whites of my eyes is not white at all. So, and my doctor had already pointed that out. Like, I knew already that my liver was kind of struggling, and my gallbladder. I'm really excited to see where this is going. If you're new here and you want to continue this journey, definitely subscribe to the channel, and I will keep you guys posted. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.